We are also working new developments in the Boston Marathon bombings trial. Emotions ran high today in federal court as several family members of convicted bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev took the stand. Some broke down in tears, and even Tsarnaev himself was seen crying in the courtroom. Eyewitness News reporter Kelly Sullivan is live in the newsroom now with the new details.
Well, 5 of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev's family members are expected to testify in the penalty phase of the trial. And today, for the first time, the marathon bomber showed emotion in court. As the penalty phase for Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev continues, the 21-year-old shed tears for the first time in this months-long trial. This morning, Dzhokhar's cousin from Russia took the stand. Through an interpreter, she testified Dzhokhar was a kind and warm child, adding that he was so gentle he cried while watching the movie The Lion King with his aunt. She also said she categorically rejects what he did, but he is part of the family. Next, as Dzhokhar's aunt took the stand, Dzhokhar began crying and wiping his eyes repeatedly with a tissue. His aunt sobbed uncontrollably as she looked at Dzhokhar sitting 10 feet away. She had only answered questions about her name, year of birth, and where she was born before Judge George O'Toole suggested the defense call a different witness so she could compose herself. And coming up new at 6, we'll tell you what gestures Tsarnaev made as U.S. Marshals let him out of the courtroom. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kelly Sullivan, Eyewitness News.
Now we turn to the Boston Marathon bombings trial. Testimony resumed today in what turned out to be the most emotional day yet for the suspect. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev cried when his aunt took the stand. New at 6, how he reached out to his family with affection as he was leaving the courtroom. Eyewitness News reporter Kelly Sullivan joins us now live in the newsroom with details.
Well, as we told you live at 5, today was the first time that Dzhokhar Tsarnaev showed emotion in the courtroom. And this afternoon, the marathon bomber blew a kiss to family members as U.S. Marshals let him out of the courtroom. For the first time, the jury witnesses emotion from Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. As court broke for lunch, Tsarnaev blew a kiss to family members as U.S. Marshals let him out of the courtroom. 5 family members are testifying in the penalty phase of the trial. This afternoon, a cousin said Tsarnaev was loved by the entire family and that he had a softening effect on an aunt who was very strict with her own children. A high school friend also testified Tsarnaev had a sweetness about him and didn't remember him talking about politics or religion. Earlier today, another cousin took the stand testifying that Tsarnaev was so gentle he cried while watching the movie The Lion King with his aunt. And for the first time, Tsarnaev began crying and wiping his eyes repeatedly with a tissue when his aunt took the stand. His aunt sobbed uncontrollably while she answered basic questions, and Judge George O'Toole suggested the defense call a different witness so she could compose herself. And that aunt was not called back to the witness stand this afternoon. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kelly Sullivan, Eyewitness News.
Count on Eyewitness News for continuing coverage as the defense continues to present its case in the penalty phase of the Boston Marathon bombings trial. We'll bring you updates from federal court as they unfold right here on WPRI 12 and on our website, WPRI.com.